minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Caldwell, let me get back to this transparency concern of, for the $75 billion, potentially $75 billion program. The Special Inspector General for TARP has made a recommendation that Treasury should require the servicer to compare the income. I mean, it's straight out of their book. Compare the income reported on the mortgage modification application with the income reported on the original loan. They list in their latest report that this recommendation has not been implemented. Why hasn't it? I mean, that seems to me that we're looking at potential fraud, just a good government type of thing that could happen. Why haven't you done that? Why haven't you required that?
The HAMP program is a modification program, not an origination program, and so this program is designed to prevent avoidable foreclosures. So the focus is on what is the homeowner's current hardship and the documentation of the income that they have today to make sure they can keep an affordable payment.
If I could, Ms. Caldwell, don't you think in light of all that took place a few years ago when we talked about some of these loans that were made and there was maybe no documentation, there was potential fraud, don't you think it makes sense, you as a professional who served in this industry, don't you think it makes sense to look at that, and the guy who's supposed to inspect, the Inspector General of the program, is supposed to watch out for the billions of taxpayer dollars potentially at risk? I mean, why wouldn't you do it? The Inspector General's telling you to do it. It makes sense. It was part of what started us in this mess to begin with a few years back. It seems to me that would be something, oh yeah, no-brainer, let's do it.
Our focus right now in the HAMP program is getting the documentation in from the borrowers currently in trial modifications on their income and the hardships that they're facing today so that they can get converted to permanent modification.
Do you intend to comply with,
on whatever
do you intend at any point over the next 2 years, as you're trying to get to this goal of $3 million, $4 million, and you've only done $116,000, do you intend at any point over the next 2 years to do what the Inspector General has asked you to do?
We're always looking at ways to iterate and improve the program to provide a better experience for the borrower and for the taxpayer. Right now we're focused on the conversion from trial modifications to permanent modifications, but we continue to look at the program.
Is that a no? You're not going to do what the Inspector General suggests you do?
It is I can't say today, 1 year into the program, what we're going to do between now and 2012. But I can commit that we continue to review it.
What's the qualification rate? 1 million people have applied and are in trial modification. What 116? What do you know the percentage of folks? And do you anticipate those who are still in trial modification? What percentage of those are going to make it into permanent modification of their loan? Are the vast majority going to continue to be rejected? Is that your? Is that? I mean, that's the history. You anticipate that being the case as we move forward?
In terms of a conversion ratio, it is too early to predict what the long-term conversion ratio can be. The one prediction that I would be prepared to say is that when documentation is required up front, the conversion ratio will be higher because the documentation collection has been a challenge. I do think it's important to just again emphasize that the program isn't designed to provide $3 to $4 million an opportunity for a modification, not a commitment to modify 3 to 4 million mortgages.
Well, let me ask. It looks like a high number are going to be in trial and not make it to the permanent. With that fact in mind, if homeowners who get trial modifications but don't qualify for permanent ones end up defaulting on their mortgages, wouldn't it have been better for them to pursue some other type of approach, some other type of remedy for the difficult economic situation they're in?
Well, I think it's important to remember that HAMP is a pay-for-success program, so incentives do not get paid to the servicer until the loan becomes permanent, and then there are incentive payments as the loan stays current over a 5-year period. So to the extent that a loan does redefault, taxpayer money is not paid to support that loan. In terms of keeping homeowners in their home and avoiding foreclosure for a longer period of time, I think that is a good outcome.
Let me ask one final question, if I could, Mr. Chairman. This is from a week or two ago, Wall Street Journal piece on the program, the date, February 9th. Former head of Freddie Mac, David Moffett, says he and others warned administration officials that the loan modification goals were unrealistic, that borrowers whose homes weren't worth what they owed were unlikely to take part, and that many participants would be likely to redefault within months. Quote, they didn't want our views, Mr. Moffett says. Looks like he was somewhat, visionary or prophetic on his statement there. Is that statement accurate in your mind, Ms. Caldwell? And were, in fact, those of you at Treasury, I don't know if you were there quite yet, but do you know if folks at Treasury were warned about, got this warning that Mr. Moffett states in the article?
You're correct. I joined Treasury in November of 2009, so I can't speak to what people were thinking at Treasury. But what I can say is that in the program today, we have over 2/3 of homeowners current on their mortgage, and we've never had anything at this scale, so we don't have historical data to fall back on. But what we do know in loss mitigation prior to this crisis, close to 45 to 50% redefaulted. So we are outperforming in terms of prior history.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, if you have another hearing, I don't know if you're going to, but if you do, we may want to get Mr. Moffett.
I have a feeling that we're about to become good friends here.
Mr. Moffett may be someone we want in front of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much.